Like, what's the worst thing he actually done to her? Not listen to her, forgetting to pick up after himself, not having the best job since he was a bike messenger, killing not only her sister but also thousands of people and being possibly a mass murderer. Like, come on, all that stuff is light. This week we're exploring the story of a bike messenger turning into a human lightning bolt. On this week's What Really Happened, we're covering InFAMOUS. InFAMOUS was released on May 26, 2009 for the PlayStation 3. It was developed by Sucker Punch Productions, who are known for the Sly Cooper games, InFAMOUS series, and the recent Ghost of Tsushima. The game follows the adventures of Cole McGrath, a man who has power forced upon him, and the decision of how he is going to wield them, and what legacy he will leave behind. One of good deeds and being respectable, or one of evil and being regarded as a monster, and not any monster, an infamous one. See what I did there? Infamous monster. I knew you liked that. Matter of fact, hit that like and subscribe if you want some more of it. The game gives more focus on allowing the player to decide what side they would like to be on, good or evil. Alright, that's enough backstory. Let's get into the game. Run it! The story starts off with a bang. Literally. An electrical explosion goes off and starts wreaking havoc. While the chaos continues, the main character, Cole, is being checked on by an unknown man. Waking up, Cole finds himself alone in a crater of a bunch of carnage. He is then instructed via helicopter to evacuate to the bridge. Yeah, it doesn't end well for anyone on that damn bridge.
No! No! No!
Cole tries to cross the bridge, but, like the one in London, he falls down. He is then rendered unconscious for a couple of days. While he was knocked the fuck out, the city went to shit. Niggas dying, niggas getting hit with a plague so hard that the government locked down the city, police up and quit, or were murdered, either one. With all that negative stuff going on, a positive is that Cole wakes up with electrical powers, which he starts to learn how to control. Then, title card. The game cuts to 2 weeks later. Cole and his buddy Zeke is chilling when they receive a message that supplies are being dropped off. With this, they go to retrieve Zeke's new gun. Afterwards, they head to the location where Cole is forced to climb the structure to get the crates down. This is where Cole sees the Reapers for the first time.
That's where I caught my first sight. The Reapers. Before the blast, they were just a bunch of junkies dealing drugs. Now, they own the Neon District. Taking whatever they want. That changes today.
Hey, how the fuck are you a dealer but also a junkie? Like, are you just buying it and selling it to yourself? That seems kind of counterproductive based on these lines right here.
Number 4, know you heard this before. Never get high on your own supply. Listen, that's called motherfucking balls, nigga. You know nothing about that.
Anyway, Cole drops them using his powers, and the first karma choice can be made. Either share the supplies or keep them all for yourself, but the people will still hate you no matter your choice. Yeah, not even 2 seconds after your decision, the voice of the people, a nigga that comes on throughout the entire game. Yeah, that nigga dropped the footage on Cole with the bomb. Nobody was happy about that. The people started to attack him, his love retreat stopped fucking with him since her sister died in an explosion. Hell, even his friend Zeke was looking at him like,
this is the most HD shit ever! This is 4K! How did they get you in 4K?
That ain't me.
That video's out. How'd I get that package? Why would I deliver a bomb? For who?
Why did you do that? Why would you look? Nigga, you got the same fit on!
with the populace ready to go to war against him, Cole and Zeke decides to leave, but it doesn't go anywhere near well at all.
The gate opened to a wall of razor wire machine guns. Zeke made a break for it, smashed in the gate to the decontamination unit, and fell headlong into the harbor. And I moved, faster than I knew I could.
Here's where Cole meets Moya, an FBI agent looking for her husband, and fellow agent, John. Further explains that John was undercover for an organization titled the First Sons, a group working on the race sphere. The race sphere was a bomb. The purpose of it was to take energy from surrounding people and inject it into one person, thus unlocking their power. It's kind of like the spirit bomb, but it's way more violent. With no other way out, Cole decides to help Moya in exchange for a way out. Moya then uses Cole to do things such as collect dead drops, collectibles, helping people on the street, checking in on her contacts. During this one, Cole discovers another ability that allows him to track people down. Cole is then forced to repair a substation due to all the power being out. And if he isn't surrounded by electricity, he becomes weaker. He tracks the Echo to the sewers where he finds his transformer. Every time Cole visits an area without power, he has to go through the sewers to turn the power back on. But before he can turn the power back on, he has to activate the transformer, which is the things that give him more powers, like more abilities to use. Continuing to traverse the sewers, Cole runs to Moya contact that is blocking the way to turn the power back on. Another decision is to be made: kill him or explain that the Reapers already killed his wife. Either way, Cole gets through and charges the substation, bringing the power back. Cole then does the same thing again to bring power to another section of the island. Also, he gains electric grenades that he uses / throws. He is then sent to stop the water since the Reapers infected it with their plague. He runs into Trish, who doesn't want to speak or even look at Cole. He tells him to go use the valve to close it since that is how they are infecting the water. He does it, but he gets it in his eyes. While following Trish, Cole hallucinates, seeing Reapers and hearing voices. He then goes and turns up some more valves, whether he closes them or he forces someone else to do it. Moya manages to figure out the plague is actually an organic mind control agent. Cole, on the other hand, really doesn't fucking care. He goes back home to sleep. Waking up, he turns on a section and saves a train full of people taken by the Reapers in hopes of finding John. While clearing some more infected waterways, Cole meets Kessler for the first time.
Head. For a moment there was nothing, and then he started to show me things. Horrible things. Beyond description. And in that split second, I understood he was showing me the future. Death and destruction on an unimaginable scale. As he released me, I knew that he was responsible for all of it. That he had opened Pandora's box, and it wasn't ever gonna close, and that damn ray sphere was somehow involved. And then he was gone.
Zeke then pulls Cole to the side to warn him that Moya isn't who she says she is, and to watch his back. But since she's the only way out of the city, Cole really can't do anything about it. While preparing more to the city, Moya explains that the leader of the Reapers is named Sasha, who was a high-ranking member of the First Sons. And Moya wants to give Sasha the Martin Luther King Jr. treatment, the black leader treatment. You know what I'm talking about, pew pew pew, real quick. After helping Trish, Moya gives Cole Sasha's location. While on his way, Cole finds an area where people are being turned into Reapers. Cole gets to Sasha and they start fighting. I mean, Sasha ain't that bad looking. I mean, she was solid 7 out of 10. So...
Keep talking.
oh my god. 6 out of 10. Anyways, Cole wakes up Chris Breezy and beats the shit out of Sasha, but before he can get any answers out of her, she's rescued. And Cole is forced to another section of the city, this time the slums. Powering up some of the borough, Moya gives Cole information on the slums standing around by the homeless people, calling themselves the Dustmen, and that they are probably being led by another conduit. Oh, conduits are the people with powers. Something I noticed is that people was calling people with powers conduits before they were actually considered conduits. Like during the side quests, like this one police officer, he refers to them as conduit. So I don't know how well known that is. While shooting down UAVs for Moya, Kessler calls Cole and makes him listen to him torturing Sasha. Hey yo, a serious question I have when playing these games is, how the fuck do these villains keep getting these heroes' numbers? Like, this ain't the first time we've seen this ever happen in a video game. It won't be the last, but how do the villains keep getting their numbers? Like, why don't the heroes ever just block them? I don't know, it's just something I'm thinking about. Cole then goes and rescues Zeke, who was snooping on the Dustman. They then get into it about Zeke putting himself in situations that could kill him. Afterwards, Cole goes back to helping Trish, bringing supplies for the hospital. Yeah, fuck this mission. I hate having to defend shit. But another thing, the relationship between Cole and Trish is kinda ass. Like, Cole is out here helping people, but the bitch is acting as though she's entitled to his help. Like, what's the worst thing he actually done to her? Not listen to her, forgetting to pick up after himself, not having the best job since he was a bike messenger, killing not only her sister but also thousands of people and being possibly a mass murderer. Like, come on, all that stuff is like, is light. Like, look at Invincible. This nigga Omni-Man slaughtered multiple cities. He ran a train on his son, compared his wife to a pet, went and killed people that his wife considered friends, went to another planet, had another kid that Debbie didn't have to raise, and after all of that happens, they end up together. They end up back together. You know what? It has to be the Skrill game. That's it, fellas. The Skrill game. That's the goal. All 2022, we increasing our Skrill game so that we could be mass murderers. That's the goal. We increasing our stroke game to where mass murder is excused. That's the that's the goal. If the stroke game good enough, mass murder is acceptable.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, speaking about stroke games, Cole gets kind of fucked here once the leader Dustman pops up.
Moya kept talking while I watched this man, this old, grizzled man, lift a bus with his mind. I'm strong, but nowhere near that powerful. Alden was born to the leader of the First Sons. As a powerful mentalist, he was groomed from an early age to assume control. That is until Kessler showed up. Alden disappeared into the streets, growing up scared and homeless. But there's no fear in those eyes now. No.
Cole saves Trish and they get back into a relationship. He had to remind her how good he was. W stroke game. Cole then assists the police with capturing Alden. And after stopping the Reaper school bus, Cole tries to help the police defend themselves against Dustman until Alden could be removed. But it doesn't work out since Zeke went against the plan, even though I don't know what he was actually supposed to do.
By the time I got inside, it was too late. The place was slick with gore. Poor bastards never got any backup. If Zeke kept his post, they'd be alive now. And Alden would still be in a cage. Not sure Zeke's ever gonna forgive himself for this. Don't know that he should.
With this failure, more strain is put on Zeke and Cole's relationship. Finishing turning on another substation, John gets into contact with Cole and asks for a meetup. The meetup doesn't go as planned, but John does tell Cole where the race sphere is, which is at the top of Alden's metal tower, and that he doesn't know Moya. Cole then decides to bring Zeke and the duo climbs the tower. Arriving at the top, Cole holds off Alden's men while Zeke gets the race sphere, but then things go awry from there.
Zeke yanked the ray sphere out of its cradle and was caught between Alden and Kessler. It was definitely time to escape, but he just stood there, petrified. You see, through the fear, he realized that the key to his dreams, the tool to make him superpowered, was right between his hands. Asshole makes the choice to kill thousands, stealing their lives so that he'll be transformed, and then nothing. Everyone's fine. No change at all.
Kessler was able to get his hands on the sphere, stating that he can give Zeke the powers he wanted. After this, Cole goes and takes out Alden, which he kinda does, I guess. Cole then turns his focus towards Kessler. Yeah, he shouldn't have done that because Kessler then captured Trish and forced Cole to choose who to save. Trish with some doctors. Spoiler alert, he dies no matter which outcome you choose, so I decided to save the doctors since we're doing the good karma playthrough. Stroke game so good, had to kill the pussy.
All my powers, and I couldn't do a thing. For a second, she sprung to life, just long enough to say that she was proud of me for what I'd become. Proud that I was helping people with my powers, and that she loved me for it. I buried her in the park alongside others who died since the blast. Kessler's gonna pay for this. I'm gonna find that sick bastard, and I'm gonna kill him.
Now filled with anger, Cole starts to work with John. First thing he does is power up the last island. In the process, receives his strongest attack, which is the lightning storm, which he uses to bring down Kessler's balloon, which was spreading sausage's mind control tar. But instead of tar, Kessler turned it into a gas toxin. But none of that matters, since Cole stops it, and afterwards, him and John goes and destroys the jammers. So John can now find the race sphere. Along the way, Cole tells Moya to go fuck herself. Cole then wakes up, ready to go get the race sphere.
The CDC just announced that it has developed a cure for the Empire City Plague. Side effects are said to be quite mild, and the vaccine has a 99% success rate. Officials went on to say the distribution of the cure, administered by a single shot, will begin tomorrow. The hope is that the quarantine will be lifted within 1 to 2 weeks. An event that could include a memorial ceremony on Stampton Bridge.
Attacking where they were keeping the race sphere, Cole and John are forced to chase down the truck, but eventually, they finally get their hands on it. Another decision is to be made. Either you A. activate the race sphere, which makes Cole stronger at the cost of John's life, or B. destroy the race sphere at the cost of John's life. Again, I'm doing a good karma run, so I chose to destroy it. After deciding what to do with the race sphere, Cole finally goes up against Kessler at the site of the explosion. You know, the one back in early on. Turns out that Kessler was the man checking on Cole at the start of the game. The two duked it out. But since I decided not to use Ray Spear, Cole is weaker than Kessler, so Zeke comes along and tries to help. I think that happens. Either that or my controls fucked up, which it is. But we gonna chalk up the story. Beating Kessler, he forces Cole to see his past. Kessler had powers, and instead of using them to stop an extremely powerful foe, he decides to run with his family. In the end, his family ended up dying, and at that moment, he used his newly acquired power to go back in time and take over their first sons, essentially speeding up the process on Cole getting powers. So this nigga basically gained a Sharingan and went back in time. Cool.
Yet the thing that drove him forward, Kessler's sole link to the past, was a picture from his wedding day, when he married Trish, with Zeke as his best man. My brain lurched, unable to accept that Kessler and I were the same person. That he'd come back in time to mold me into the savior he failed to be, going so far as to kill the woman he loved, I loved, so that I wouldn't be tied down by emotions. No, Kessler wanted me strong, ruthless, so that when I faced the beast, I'd be capable of making impossible decisions, all for the common good.
With this, the game ends with Cole readying himself for the battle against the beast. The good ending ends with Cole questioning what is going to happen as he moves forward in the world. Alright, that's the end of Infamous. Overall, it's a pretty good game. The combat is third-person shooter based, which works thanks to the power that is given to Cole, that is chosen for Cole. The enemy variety is plentiful, but I wish they did more to separate the factions, mainly Kessler's group, the First Sons. They should have more tactic and strategy. They also should have enemies where cold electricity had less effect. I like the combat. I like the comic book style they use for cutscenes. The animation, on the other hand, is a bit robotic. Sometimes the game feels as though the character has like a robot skeleton with flesh thrown over it. The traversal works. When you get the rail grind skill, it improves the travel through the horizon. But when trying to go vertical, it doesn't fall as well. That's basically it. Well, I'm done. If you like what you saw, hit that like and subscribe. If you want some more Infamous, go check out my other videos. I have another Infamous video, First Light and stuff. And with that being said, the galaxy needs me. Farewell.